God is not upon a man. It doesn't matter what kind of advantage you have. The world is too wicked to isolate you and just be good to you for no reason. Mercy is not something that only sinners need. The theology that we have received before now is that mercy is for fornicators and adulterers and smokers, etc. And so when you feel that I am none of these, you don't like the subject of mercy. We love favor, we love everything, but if I say may God show you mercy, what have I done? What have I done wrong that he shows me mercy? If you say favor, now I need that wisdom, yes. But we do not know that the very key that opens up all those possibilities is the mercy of God. The Bible says it is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed. That means if he looks at us the way we are, his justice and his judgment will necessitate that we fail and perish. But that he only looks at us through the lens of his mercy. And when he looks at us through the lens of his mercy, he sees himself. And this becomes the basis of his dealing with us. There is a grace that can make men see. Is the mercy of God. That you will see an oasis in a desert where no one is seeing. This is how that's why you see people rise to positions that when you are clapping for them, they feel guilty. Because in all honesty, they know that if you separate the mercy of God, it's not so much about their creativity. Yes, they participated. This is the disposition of the believer. So that when some are trusting in horses and chariots, we can come and say, well, I don't know how you got yours, but this estate, if I tell you I got this because I went to school, I'm lying. I was just passing and I saw rubbles. And God said, look again. And I saw an estate in the rubbles. I will never be the same. I've touched your grace.
Life must change.
I will never
be the same. I touch your grace. My life must change.
Make up your mind this year that you will cause suffering and hardship intentionally. Attack it and say, you have to live my life. There are people who move forward, but if you stop applying effort in the flesh, you will not move. That kind of life is difficult. You can't give God glory. That's why when people say it's God that gave you everything, you look at them and say, where was he when I was up in the night? God gave me what? Because it was in the strength of the flesh. But there are realms. See, there are times that God blesses your farm, but there are times the urgency requires bread directly from heaven. There's no time to plant and wait. The urgency requires bread. He can give both blessings upon your farm, but there are times the delay in your life before you farm and wait and reap, he can send it from heaven. They are called prepared blessings. God is not only the God who gives harvest to your grains. God can send manna from heaven. Because when life pushes you and time is all that we've had. A man of 60 years, when are you going to start teaching him the principles of finances? You know how hard it is to learn that thing? And now the guy struggles for another 10 years, and just when he's done learning, he's about to die. There has to be a way, and God will visit someone and say, bless this man, give him a house, give him a car. It's my instruction. And you see an old man standing in front of a car that he wants to run away from, and they say it's yours. It is the hand of God. We hardly hear these kinds of testimonies again. The reason is because we are intelligent in ourselves, and so you hardly hear people now say, God said do this, because of our strength. And by the arm of flesh shall no man prevail. Please hear me, we are mercy made. We are made by his favor. It is true. The same is true in business. The same is true in ministry. The same is true in our walk with God. I gave you an example yesterday that someone can be under a bridge, destroying his life with liquor and all of that, and suddenly God appears to that person. He was not praying. In fact, did you know that Cain's conversation with God, it was the blood of Abel that called God. It was not even Cain who called God. And when God was speaking to him, he would have said, Lord, thank you, you have visited me. And he said, well, am I my brother's keeper? In other words, you can keep talking, you don't disturb me. A man is having a visitation from God that we so covet, and he's trivializing it, and God is not angry to leave the man. Then God curses the man and he renegotiates things and says, God, this is too much, let's discuss, put a mark, this is too much. Even in your judgment, I know you are merciful. Will you give me what is greater than me? Hezekiah was given a death sentence by a true prophet. Chapter 38 of Isaiah. Put your house together, you will not survive from that sickness. And Hezekiah said, prophet, God bless you. I know you are a man, you are an obedient man, you go. I know a merciful God. And he turned his face to the wall and said, oh God, remember. He renegotiated his life. Man appointed to death can cancel that verdict. The mercy of God is powerful.